Alright. What's going on, everyone? This is gonna be a video of stock requests. I'll talk a lot about overall markets as well. I'll cover as many stocks as I can. And this is gonna be for YouTube. Maybe I'll also post it on X. I will post on X for sure, but we'll see if I'll post it as an additional video on X. We'll see. Now, first of all, we had a pretty nice Friday, which I normally don't trade on Fridays, right? But this was just too much of a good one to ignore. A lot of people play the downside very well. Then obviously we got the intraday pump on Friday, which was a pretty nice pump. Pretty sure all indices closed green. You can even see kind of the sectors, which is super interesting. Financials actually closed down over 0.5%, right? While everything else, utilities and energy especially, actually closed on the green. But this is a bit more macro, just to kind of coincide with everything I've been talking about and saying, right? That in my opinion, the risk off in the markets isn't over, not at all. Again, posted about it a lot. There's a way to play these markets in terms of the sectors that you can play, trade the rotations, right? And again, once again, if we are where I believe we are in the cycle of the overall markets, which is basically a late stage expansion, then you just gotta be very smart with the sector that you choose to play and trade. So, all right, let's do them stock requests. That's where we are right now. Okay, so I replied to some of you guys. As always, guys, I love the context. If you guys have context, I can just help you better instead of just writing a name of the stock, obviously. But I got you. Let's see. Tesla, I see I got 9 likes. Another post with Tesla with 5 likes. Okay, I'm gonna start with the subscribers. I see some of you guys also that just don't have the pink. There are subscribers or from Discord, but let's see. Alright, so let's just start with Tesla because a lot of you guys asked about it. And I also see a lot asked about TSLL, which I'm gonna warn you right now. I'm gonna say what I think and what I believe. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. So TSLL, Tesla, let's do them together, right? Why not? A lot of likes, multiple requests. So yeah, let's start there. So Tesla. All right, what do we got on Tesla? First of all, a bit of background for anyone who doesn't know, guys. I trade the cycles on Tesla, right? From the post-COVID cash infusion to the markets with all the stimulus and everything. It was kind of a trade with a bet on a lot of people will be bullish on Tesla. 2020 anyway, very the downside. 2021, heck of a squeeze into the cycle top of the growth bubble. 2021. Then I only swing it, right? So I kind of take let's say 6 to 8 months out options, call options over the money options when I believe the cycle is ready, and then I swing options on it a few times a year only, and this is more than enough to pay me pretty well for the year. And again, that's how I do it. So I do the upside, I do the downside. I shorted here in 2022, was a great trade. I shorted here as well and got not here. I got squeezed. When was it? Here, yeah. So I actually shorted somewhere here and I got squeezed. So I lost on this trade, but then eventually I did ride the downside, not from top to bottom, right? Never try to type tops and bottoms, even though sometimes time it without even trying. But the point is you can try to time top and bottom, but not always. That's kind of the key. At least depends on the market cycle. If it's just a falling knife or just a melt up squeeze, unless you have kind of a high confidence trade to try to do it, it's fine. Now, again, anyways, so yeah, play the downside here. Obviously, we play the upside. Anyone who remembers 2023 twice, and obviously the mega squeeze as well here that we had in Q4 of 2024, which was legendary, which I made a big video about it, made posts. I actually said that I'm officially, not only that it could be a multi-bagger in the upcoming months, which obviously happened, but I also said that I'm officially a bull. I bought a lot in 160. I actually don't mind if it goes lower and lower and lower at some point, because plan is eventually, if my plan won't change, if my thesis is not gonna change with Tesla, is to add long term. But I'm long since 160. Also a heck of a trade with calls into end of year, obviously 2024. Then I said 480 is gonna be the top. I could get things wrong, don't get me wrong, but Tesla is a high confidence trade for me. I traded a lot. I've been trading it for years, so the way I swing options on it, again, I follow options dealers flows between quarterly OPEX and monthly OPEXs as well sometimes. And I try to find the positive delta, negative. It's supply and demand, right? It also depends on the market cycle. Here, I obviously believe that we're gonna have a squeeze before some downside in 2025 and a mini reversion against from growth stocks to emerging markets, which obviously happened, right? You saw China stocks, you saw what happens to growth stocks in the last few weeks. So this has played out, right? Now the 480 stop held, as I've said. We saw some tiny strength, but it couldn't really hold, never, ever since the top. And that's just a bit of background for anyone who doesn't know. I guess I have this cycle from April 2024 lows to the highs here, fib retracement. We should be on log on this, yeah. So that's kind of where we at right now. I'm personally not trading Tesla here. I'm not interested. So I don't like in terms of a big swing. Again, I just like the big macro moves, which again, in hindsight, because we did call the 480 stop, I could have just shorted with puts, which we did. Also, a lot of people in the Discord wrote the downside with puts every time, but I didn't swing from, local top to here, right? It was just more of kind of a here and there day trade as well. Day trades over buying some time and trusting a big trend. Because I wanted to see anyways. I also was focused on other stocks, other names. So Tesla, I still like it long term, don't get me wrong, right? I just think that it's a bubble. And again, Discord knows it, knows my thoughts. This is what I think, this is what I believe, and I'm saying it as someone who's long. Now, it's not because Tesla is not a good company, it's a great company. But the whole market is a bubble in my opinion. So Tesla is one of the more overextended bubbles. Now, it is down now from our 480s top 45%, which is decent retracement actually, and I think this was very necessary. So for me it's kind of decent to see it. People got too bullish after a literal, come on now, from August 5th the carry trade Fugazi to the all-time highs, 170% in a few months. That's a crazy move on a mega cap like Tesla. It's a crazy move, and everyone turned bullish here suddenly, right? That's it, Tesla to the moon. I saw the screenshot shares kind of talking about the 600 and 700 and 800 calls that are buying long term. All it does, it leads to delta decay. So I try to say that it's not bullish. People hated on me, but look at it now, right? So we're much lower. There are times that I just don't like to watch. If I don't know, I'll tell you, I don't know. Right now, I don't know, right? So I'm in analyze mode. I want to watch, I want to see. I'm waiting for more and more clear flows from different types of directions and volatility plays, and now you got a lot of arbitrage. You don't even have a lot of rolls from big money, meaning from the money that usually moves Tesla, which is not even big money, it's more smart money. Sometimes the big money is just hedging positions most of the times, right? Instead of against of the underlying stock position, and it still can give us a lot of hints about what they're hedging for, but it's less what I like to watch. I like to hunt for something else. It also depends on the growth cycle, right? So yeah, because I think it's still trading like a growth stock more than it does trade like a tech stock, which is not bad. Anyone who's bullish Tesla long term, as I am, we want this to be a growth stock. This is why the gains eventually could be much bigger. And we had a heck of a run in 2024 to end the year, so we gotta respect that. A lot of controversies with Elon, obviously. I'm a fan of Elon personally. I do think there is a lot of controversies that he's doing that are just not helpful for the stock at all. So that's on the sentiment side of things, obviously. And besides that, again, too much noise even in flows for me to be interested. I think it's anyone who wants to, feel free, be my guest. I watch flows every day, all day, all the time. We watch flows and we hunt for the relevant flows. But as I've said, the key with a stock like Tesla is to ignore the noise, and just too much noise right now. So short term in watch mode, analyze mode. As I've said many times, when a stock looks like this, I'm analyzing. When it does like this, I'm analyzing, unless I'm already in a position. So this is kind of the levels I would watch. Again, April 2024 lows, to the all-time highs, and 260.4, that's the 0.5. So you actually got a test just now on Friday, actually, of the golden zone between 0.5 to golden pocket. Now that's a pretty interesting spot, right? Technically speaking. And you do have a lot of ARB, so you got size moving on Tesla. Also potential SNR flip for bulls. You want to see if we hold the 0.5, you flip in what used to be strong resistance, supply, again, call it whatever you want, just semantics. Then the island bottom we had here, pump, last bear trap, but then we got our beautiful squeeze. So the same area that you got resistance every time, now you potentially flipping it to support. So again, Tesla is getting interesting here in the 200s, low 200s, mid 200s. It's starting to get pretty interesting. Even at the 290, I started to see some bullish kind of positioning that I like seeing. And it was just a week ago, I believe. Yeah, just a week ago when it traded at 290. So again, I care less short term right now, in a few days, few weeks even. But strong watch. You want to close above 0.5, which is 260. You want to see how this week plays out, also with markets and growth and Tesla. And this could be a pretty nice zone to flip support and resistance. Okay, if you just break below it, then don't be surprised by a lot more downside on Tesla. And I mean a lot. It's just a pretty important level, key level. So that's why on watch mode here. And as always, we're going to update every day, obviously, as always, on Discord if we find anything and see anything that's worth watching. Besides that, yes, I'm waiting for the next big trend, which we will play as always. Now, in terms of TSLL, that's a directional. I warned a lot of people. Again, the flow trading Discord, you guys know. I warned a ton of people about this name. TSLL is the leveraged Tesla ETF. It carries decay with it as well. It's currently down 75% from all-time highs. I don't care if you sell covered calls against it, if you write puts, if you will this. If you will a leveraged products, the premium that you get, are they really worth it? If the overall position is in the red, you can't think about it like, okay, in the future, I believe it's going up. What about now? Think about the present. Even if you sold some calls, even if you sold some puts, you're down on the whole position. So to me, it doesn't make any sense to will a leveraged product. It just doesn't make any sense. If anything, you want to swing it with the shares, you want to hedge, use it as a hedge against the stock. So that's just me personally. I'm not a fan of it for many reasons. But now after it's down almost 80% from the peak, now you can start getting interested again. You just take the cycle lows of April 2024 lows to the all-time highs on TSLL. And that again, once again, Fib retracement on log, look where you're at. You're literally right now in Friday climbed back into golden pocket. So now you're getting interested, right? Anyone who likes Tesla, you could take a stab at the TSLL here. Yep, you want to hold, I guess, 10.2, whatever. But now it's getting a bit more worth watching, right? To be as a buy. No chance in hell that I would have bought here. And I've said it a lot of times. Now you start talking. Now it's getting interested. You're in golden pocket of an uptrend. You potentially want to see, obviously, if you create higher lows here. And again, I'm a fan of the stock itself, Tesla. So that's what I'm long. And that's what I traded puts lately, as I've said. And that's what I trade on the macro swings. But in terms of TSLL, you just got to be, in my opinion, just very smart with the entries if you're going long. Or if you're going short, like let's say TSLS, if you short the, if you want to go, leverage ETF to short Tesla, TSLS, TSLQ, which also gave you a heck of a move from the beginning of the year. So this was a heck of a trade as well. Basically like buying put, just using leveraged ETF as a long, right? So you use leverage, but you don't use a derivative options. All right, so yeah, that's TSLL. That's also my thoughts overall on the ETF itself and also on leveraged ETFs. There's a lot of ways to play it, also through option spreads, but especially through timing and understanding cycles of Tesla. No reason, in my opinion, to try to buy a leveraged ETF if the stock gave you over 100% move in only a few months. You want to buy it in oversold conditions. You want to buy it when it's not as popular. You see, only got oversold end of February. Simple RSI. You could say divergence, but once again, leveraged product. Now it's getting interesting. TSLL at $10. Now it's getting interesting. All right, but again, remember, it's not something necessarily to hold long term unless you really time cycle lows and the stock gives you a mega crazy trend. Because even at the lows of 2023, if you bought, at some point in 2024, a year later, you could have been basically even. So sometimes you better go with the underlying stock. If you expect a big move on the stock itself, then yeah, TSLL is a good buy. All right, but yeah, just wanted to keep it real in terms of understanding how to wheel and utilize options on leveraged ETFs, because timing, it's all about timing. And Tesla moves in decent cycles, so you just gotta follow the cycles. All right, that's was a pretty long Tesla and TSLL discussion. Next, what do we got? We got 5. Okay, that was Tesla though. 8 likes TSLL. 4 on OKLO. 8 on Hood. All right, so let's do Hood. Hood, that's another stock that I'm long. But again, as I've said, this is a stock that I'm long from 2023 a little bit. Really went heavy in 2024 because 2023 was more Nasdaq for me, for us in the Discord. 2024 was the year to accumulate growth. And again, everyone chased later on. Everyone now chased. I mean, the stock from 2024, from the lows, November 2023 to all-time highs. No, not all-time highs, sorry, to the February 2025 highs. 740%. Come on now. It's crazy. This was the time to buy, in my opinion. As I've said, carry trade again. This was actually the last time that I entered big time and bought. And ever since, again, also posted here. What's this? Hood flip golden pocket. All while bullish flows are still entering, so higher into next year. Yeah, beautiful. And also played out. You went up 100% almost, goddamn, in less than 2 months. So yeah, obviously lately it's been going down with the markets though, right? Growth, high beta stocks suffered a lot. So Hood is actually kind of impressive looking at it now. I'm not a buyer here. We got other sectors and stocks that I'm looking to buy and be patient. Everyone gonna chase them, in my opinion, later this year and next year. But that's not for this video. Hood, I still like it, by the way, for what it's worth. I'm still long, but because we also traded calls through the upside, it paid very well. I don't mind leaving the shares that I still have with a pretty good average of about, I think I have 20 average at this point. Is it 20? If I bought a carry trade? Maybe I bought more in 20s. I don't remember why, but I think it is 20, maybe slightly below. Anyways, still took a lot of profits along the way. So at this point, I really like the stock. I like the company. I like where they're heading. I think they're making some great decisions. We still see accumulative flows, so that's great. This channel, as long as supportive flows are still holding, which I'm following, and for now they are still holding, maybe that's when I would look to buy again. If you kind of go back into $30 or slightly below it. If it doesn't, I'll allow it. Again, I'm long the stock, so it's great. Short term, I don't care too much, but again, because of how growth looks right now in the markets, it's also less relevant too much to look at volume and to look even at flows sometimes, which are short term. It's more about a liquidity game here. So just take the carry trade lows on fib retracement to the highs of February 2025 and follow these levels. All right, you now trade below the 0.236, so you get support at 36.8, call it 37 area. That's also the December 20th lows where I posted this, which was very timely when I posted it, because I remember we not only saw flows, but it was also kind of, I like the price action anyways, and it was indeed, I see around now, literally a local bottom. So if we test the same range, it's gonna be a decent area. to see if we hold support and to hunt for flows. For now, it's just kind of in a clear downtrend. So if we go up, it's because of markets gonna go up. It's nothing specifically hood related. So yeah, I can look quick at flows, but again, as I've said, they're less. Like, I like to watch flows on these names here when no one else is interested. When there's accumulation, then here, when it starts to break range, I want to see if these dudes are all still holding and if there's more positive delta pressure building up, that's exactly what happened with Hood when it was at $10 and 15 and 20. So that's why we kept going higher and higher. And also the company improved all the time through earnings, as we saw earning reports. So everything aligned for the company to grow and for the stock to grow as well. So besides that, yeah, that's kind of what I would say. You have, yeah, a lot of them. I remember we also talked on Discord. That's March 7th. That's a 0DT. Just ignore this for a second. That's a cross trade as well. I remember this. Yeah, nothing crazy, guys. You got some profit takers. You got some slowly building up positions. But as I've said, you want to wait either for consolidation or just watch these levels. All right, nothing too directional right now that's entering. I would be patient personally. If you guys with me long this stock from the lows, then as I've said, I would wait for the channel to hit again. If it doesn't happen, cool. We'll ride higher with what we have left. And again, guys, you gotta understand all those high beta names, all those growth names that I see that you ask a lot about growth names here. This is kind of not the market that you want to too much focus. Maybe now it is after the downside. Maybe now it is. All right, so another one. I just made a video about it. Unity, a video that was a few days or a day just before the earnings pump, which was, I really like the numbers here. Again, operating expenses went lower, margins, everything I wanted to see kind of happened. And also not much to talk about it. Again, Unity Software, that's a stock I've been following before they even IPO'd, basically the company. I have been following Iron Source. I have friends that work in Unity. So I'm kind of familiar with the operations a little bit, right? Like inside operations. But yeah, ever since they merged with Iron Source, I started to pay close attention, and I was waiting for sub 20. I really was waiting. This is funny. We just talked about Hood, right? And I'm not comparing the two because they're completely different companies, but I don't care short term. Like I've said a million times. Anyone who follows me, you guys know it. If you want to gamble on options low DT, go ahead, be my guests. People's gonna win, but 99% of people are going to lose. And I say this because I watch options tape, because I watch all the stocks and stonks that trade the same. I'm long the stock. I'm very long the stock. I like it. You guys know it. It's a deep value play for me. It has been way before it became popular, which, again, personally, I'm actually not too much of a fan of the fact that it becomes too popular and a lot of people talk about it. But okay, I mean, I guess that's what it is. What it is. I'm long, so I'm bullish. To me, this is a potential multi-bagger. It's a deep value stock. Could double and could triple, and yeah. Short term, I don't care. If it goes back to my channel here, I'm gonna buy more. Again, I posted on Discord, also on X. We timed bottom on this one in my last buy. So I actually bought after hours here. Couple of shares. Then it popped big time. And I honestly didn't even think about selling covered calls. Even after the mega upside. Again, the only reason is because I don't want to give up my shares. Like, I buy shares because I like it long term. If I sell covered calls, I could get, give up my shares, and then you kind of entering into a cycle of chasing. So again, a lot of stocks are worth wheeling, and I think wheeling, by the way, is a great strategy for anyone who's not too active in markets and actively trading. But if you are actively trading, or also if you're actively looking for long-term holds, then this could kind of trap you. Sell calls. But again, still a heck of a move. And we also caught a lot of in the money call sellers, which was pretty timely. So I remember some of you guys in Discord actually did sell covered calls and made a great trade out of it at the end of the day. So happy for you guys, obviously. But that's just me. I like it long term. And I just don't want people in retail to lose money on this by being an options buyer. with how liquidity in IV looks on this stock. This is right now in meme stock territory. It is. All right, there's too much attention, too much options activity, but the deep value potential is there. Okay, so this is the green channel. These are the levels I would watch short term if you guys are interested. Take December 2023 highs to the lows of August 2024. And you saw what happened right in golden ratio, rejected. Fourth breakout above golden pocket after earnings, rejected. And now with, again, kind of with the markets and with what other growth stocks have been doing, it slowly went lower, but still, to me, it's still looking beautiful. The setup, the chart, everything. So these are kind of the levels I would watch. 21.5 support, 24.6 is the 0.5. So if you claim this, you're going back into golden zone, potential flipping downtrend. And once you flip 29, 30 and hold a weekly above it, then Unity got so much more potential. But again, you guys know it. To me, it's a long-term play, 1 to 3 years. I'm happy to see that a lot of people kind of now looking at it more as a long-term play, which I'm happy if I have a part of it. But yes, we talk about it so much as well in Discord because people ask all the time, and I'm happy to obviously look at because a lot of us are long and like it. But also you got to remember that they got a lot of work to do. Unity has a lot of work to do, and they again, even though I do like the report that we just saw, I'm patient. I'm truly patient. So it is what it is. This is the levels I would watch short term. By the way, in terms of options flows, once again, this is exactly why I said that I like the deep value stocks and the sector rotations and cycles. We've seen the bullish flows. Like we've seen the mega accumulation that was not the January calls that I said that these are not directional. People could get trapped, and obviously you saw what happened. But we see accumulative flows and they're still holding. So now that's exactly, once again, that's when you want to see if these dudes are still holding, which they are. So I'm going to save you some time. They are still holding. And I don't even care about them at this point because what I do care about is, again, my positions. I don't care about... I saw like all the talk about Roaring Kitty, which I got a lot of respect to him. Like, dude is a goat in terms of deep value plays and everything, right? Don't get me wrong. And it could be long. I said, I feel like it makes a lot of sense that he actually went long Unity. Why not? I mean, if he's a smart investor, I believe that he sees seeing something here, right? But this is also a lot of retail activity, to be honest. Even this, we kind of seems maybe $1.1 million because it's a floor trade. But even this, at this point, as I've said, the flows are going to lie a lot. Net flows, they're going to lie. So you gotta be very timely and to what you're watching. Watch for the in-the-money flows with the kind of higher delta, but much higher vega. Anyways, I don't want to too much complicate. Trust the bro. I like what I see. I would love if it just chills and consolidates and go down because first of all, I can buy more. And second of all, chasers will stop chasing. If it just goes higher, I'll be happy as well. Because again, I'm long and it goes up. But I'm patient. So that's what I got on you guys on Unity. Hope it helped. Again, I already talked about it a lot and made videos, so that's just kind of an extra. What else? What do we got? Okay, I already did Hood, Hans, but I will tell you quick about BBAI that horrible numbers. I mean, I can talk about it quick just to give you guys kind of horrible numbers. I mean, the last report was pretty bad. And again, if growth and high beta stocks sell off, obviously a stock that has such a horrible report going to sell off even more. And that's a lot of short-term fugazi as well. Like anything can happen in the next year or so. But this is just like, that's what I got. I'm looking now as well in the channel. Decent reversal from end of 2022 and beginning of 2023. And this was the lows. So that's kind of impressive to see on a meme stock kind of, that I still think got a lot of potential, but horrible numbers. They fumbled the bag in the last quarter. But this was the lows, right? I mean, we never really touched the same lows. Ever since we held it in 2023, then 2024 kind of started to build up this range, higher lows here into the same channel, and we've had a glorious squeeze. Again, from the lows of carry trade to the highs here, we're talking about 800%. guys, again, we want to enter these plays here as we did, right? I'm still long BBAI, by the way. It was a heck of a trade to the upside once again because we played the cycles and the upside trend. So I traded it. It was great. Calls paid a lot, and I was mainly shares, which I still am, by the way. I still have shares, but I don't mind. Like, I'm chilling right now because we're already up a lot. So I'm pretty sure I got stopped, like trailing or something at some point, just to secure the profits on shares. But I still hold some, as I've said, and it's because I don't mind taking the risk of this potential AI play. But I don't like the numbers at all. Like, I'm not. It changed my mind on the company. If we test the green channel again, which is actually coincides with the golden pocket of the cycle, 2022 lows to the highs of 2025. So that's a long-term potential accumulative cycle in play here. Even though, as I've said, I don't like the report. I really don't. I mean, you kind of want to see with those growth and speculative plays, you just want to see better numbers. And that's why I also made a post which was kind of at the top of the growth talks, that don't be a hodler of BBAI and OKLO and all these names, like all of those high beta names anyways, that they sold off because of where we are at the cycle. But again, they missed on revenue. They also, yeah. Anyways, so if we get here, we can talk maybe again. In my opinion, it's a high risk right now, especially with how markets look. So many opportunities. Like, I wouldn't chase speculative plays, to be completely honest. AISP, okay, subscriber, I got you. But this is going to fall into the same category, by the way, right? So let's see, what do I get? Actually, technically speaking, this is now interesting. So also, this was one of the names that I also posted about. This was very risky, and it's down almost 60% in the last less than 3 weeks only. Again, with markets, obviously, but also the thing with AISP is that they're kind of, I guess we can call it an AI industrial more stonk, very speculative play. Let's look, kind of military related, obviously, right? Because they have border and law enforcement, software enterprises. So I feel like the Trump narrative could play here because of stronger border patrol, but on the other hand, it could actually also be a lot of narratives actually play a part here. So it's really going to be down to what the company can actually do. And if I'm looking now, yeah, they had a bad miss. Worse than expected results for AISP. So speculative play. That's a high risk play. Technically speaking though, as I've said, you take the lows of November to the highs here. Again, when I look at flows is when people really not looking at it yet. So looked at it when it was much cheaper and it went up a lot. So at any point, people could obviously take profits. It's a meme stock kind of. And that's when I'm interested in flows, because this flows eventually give us the entries to be before the hype and before the FOMO. I don't like nothing here, to be honest. Too much noise, too much, probably gonna give me low, yeah, because of the exactly, as I've said. Watch this, 3.24, that's the golden ratio of this cycle. That's also the green channel. I wouldn't call this a buy the fucking deep channel. Like, I wouldn't call it even a Buddha channel because of the bad numbers, because of flows right now. Not I wouldn't say non-existent, but are not as active as we saw it before a pump. But let me see quick here. Let me read quick about the report. Yeah, remember that I saw this. Anyways, they got a lot of potential as a contractor. Are they a contractor of the US government? Kind of, I think they are. And it's a growing industry, to be fair. So I guess definitely worth watching. You just gotta remember, as I've said, you're right now bounced from golden ratio on a Friday, which is a decent reaction. And it did sell off after earnings, to be fair, right? It did already sell off. So if it is a growth stock and the growth stock comes back to the market soon, then this is definitely worth a watch. I still have some shares on AISP, by the way, which I think I'm kind of break even at this point. I I think I'm break even, and I didn't even take profits on this. Just something that I'm willing to bet on is one of the AI stonks stories of the market, with everything I just talked about. Them being, again, the story here is interesting. Let's just say that. All right, so 3.24 golden ratio, that's what I would hold. And flows are now on watch. If we consolidate or if we stay in the golden zone here between 3 to 3.8, let's say, it's going to be a great zone to hunt for flows. So now, high risk, very high risk name. It's a penny stock. I mean, it's $3.5. They need to grow more and more to gain confidence and to lure more shareholders and more money to come in, right? So be smart. That's a very risky play. It's not a high confidence play for me, just to be fair, to keep it real with you. All right, we did Hood. So we said we want to go subscribers. I got you with the Tesla. We talked about it. BTU. BTU. What do we got with BTU? Peabody Energy Corporation. Let's go monthly here. Let's see. So in Feb, no, wait. Why is this? It's gonna be too aggressive, right? Yeah. Interesting. So again, markets obviously sold off. So this also is in a downtrend, and huge volume entered right in the last gap up above golden ratio, force one, right? And then it broke below golden pocket with a lot of volume. Now, the last few candles are not bad at all, daily speaking. Like, kind of dodgy, look like a compression here. Friday is not a great candle at all, but you didn't even hit the lows that you saw on Thursday. Too much of a short term for me though on this name too. Interesting. It gave us some relative strength, I remember. But let's see. All right, so that's a cross trade, 3% above this. We can slightly ignore this most of the time unless it gives us, okay, like an interesting open interest change. Then we got deep in the money, not deep, but in the money puts. Yeah, a lot of ARB and a lot of put activity. So now you're kind of looking at it and say, okay, even if they're selling puts, there could be writing puts to, or selling puts even, closing to cover shorts rather than a bullish directional trade, which kind of makes sense. Even though, yeah, see, very interesting, I gotta be honest. Look at this. A lot of money entered lately in the last few days on puts. Yes, I got a lot of money entering on puts here, slightly in the money. I would say that even if they're buyers, and that's over the money, 460 grand. That's actually pretty small, 240 grand. A bit of a build up, but it's unusual because open interest was non-existent, so you do have an accumulation here. But really not much, I'll be honest. Not much. Again, you got to remember how markets look overall. So looking at its or energy name is obviously gonna suffer with everything. But I kind of got a feeling about this just because how I feel about oil energy overall here, and specifically BTU being. I would watch these levels anyways. If you've been watching it, obviously trade your plan, but it's what I would kind of do. Look at weekly. I would stick the same local low from end of 2021 into April 2022. Lows to highs, fib retracement. You broke below golden pocket. So you kind of want to watch now. If you test 11.16 area, 11 point, this, anyway, the $11, this could be a decent area to reversal. Right? If you just kind of consolidate, then I don't see too many levels here that are interested enough short term with how it looks, right? Like you could take local low to local top. You don't even have, yeah, like you touch 1.618, you see, and bounced, but then rejected. So 2.618 gives you back to 10.6 level. So if you're looking for a support level, there's nothing really there. And when you're trying to read supply and demand on a stock like BTU with how market looked lately, it's gonna take me hours to do it. So yeah, I don't have time for it now, obviously, but I guess this is the more interesting thing that I would track if you're watching BTU, because you had a decent buyer, and then again a decent buyer, but then also bid side flip, so could still be the same players getting multiple fills, right? It's just not a sector I've been following too much, and I really watched BTU, but you saw how price action and oil energy overall, they just fell down, so it didn't make any sense. And they showed weakness with market weakness, right? So it wasn't a true defensive sector. So anyways, yeah, that's what I got for you on BTU. You gotta watch oil, you gotta watch energy. I mean, that's when markets go down and this hasn't showed relative strength, that's a bit concerning. I will say that this is your potential, like this is when it gets interesting. A sell-off right below golden pocket. As I've said, decent week overall if you're looking at the daily candles, not if you're looking at the weekly candle, but you know, after the sell-off here. So worth watching. I would just wait. 13.4 and you entering golden pocket. As I've said, 11s is 0.786. Kind of a nowhere land here. Wait for here or here. Flows, I'm sure, going to be cleaner as well in terms of direction. Are they going to drop it more, or are they want to reaccumulation and buy, or even cover shorts and bounce? But right now it's kind of nowhere land. So I would wait, either claim this, be safer, or retest the low. All right, let's do last one because it's already a pretty long video. I'm looking at likes and I'm looking at we did OKLO. Did we do OKLO? All right, so I'm gonna do quick. God damn, you guys have a few for me. AMD, I just made a post about it, so you can check it. And this is, we talk about it a lot in the Discord. They know the plan. Again, we have a whole plan for AMD. Follow very closely. I'll post about it more if you guys want. Just let me know. But yeah, that's that. But I just recently posted about it. And GME can flow ever bring. What? Okay, so I'm gonna do GME and what was the other one? And then I got you also with VKTX quick. But let's do GME, and also I saw another one with some decent likes. Oh yeah, and OKLO, cause I kinda, well, they're not the same at all, but yeah, let's do OKLO again. I've been bullish uranium since 2022, 2023, been accumulating. I'm not a fan of OKLO. I've said it a million times. Beautiful support resistance flip. I think they have a lot of potential, by the way, don't get me wrong, but it's a meme stock. It's not a true, I mean, it is a growth stock, just to be fair, but the activity from retail make it into a meme stock. It's a very speculative play. It's down 55% in the last month, which is a lot. Again, to be fair, it's with the whole market, it's true, but just to be clear, it's gonna move this type of, it's gonna give you this type of moves, okay? Now, once again, now you kind start saying, okay, maybe it looks interesting. I'm not trading it, just to be clear, right? Like, I'm not a fan of trading this stock. I did like a while ago, didn't ride the whole upside, not at all. A great job anyone who did, but I also saw a lot of retail kind of options chasing throughout the downside. So again, depends on the cycle. You can definitely do it if the expansion cycle continues and you kind of get a mean reversion in growth and energy names, which are not only energy but uranium specifically. But yeah, flows are kind of clean. I'm gonna be honest with this one. You're gonna see a lot of call buyers, and it's gonna look like it's bullish, but it's not. It's a low DTE call buyers. It's against the underlying stock. The put sellers are actually, even if they're writing puts, they're just writing puts. So the timing is when you want to look at it. And this is not a bad look. You don't have big money here. I will say you don't have too much big money, and you don't have too much smart money here. I've seen smart money back here when I posted about it in this range. They actually were pretty aggressive, decent spreads, long-term strategies. But in this kind of cycle, I only saw like a lot of options activity overall. Now you got a floor trade here. Okay, that's kind of could be a short strangle, but already expired. Pretty interesting though, to be honest. Okay, they could have rolled this spread as well. And then you have these ones, which is probably an opener. Yep, here you go. So long puts, short calls, potentially kind of a wide spread. So you know what, let's not say, well, this is above us, so here's the urgency on this. All right. So yeah, as you see, just look at it. Puts, call writing. This is the only call buys that I see, and they're buying 40 for September, slightly in the money, 69 noise. Delta, it opened, so they're hedged for downside. February 20th, here you go, on non-existent, no I almost. So they bought a lot of calls, and they're still holding, but they're hedged for downside. So it's kind of, flows has been actually pretty clear on this one, and there's still distribution. Which is why I would say on OKLO, you want to focus on 22.3, this cycle highs. And it's also going to give you, even if you get a pop, by the way, you kind of, just to give you the bearish case, you're right, it's going to kind of give you a head and shoulders look. So be worried, like, pay attention, okay? If you go lower, I actually would like it much more around the 0.786. So 22 and below it, here I would actually like it much more for an entry on OKLO. I really do, because then you respect a decent cycle after a support resistance flip cycle that started right here, right after the accumulative flows entered. And as I've said, you got distribution in the last few weeks as we saw in flows, so it's kind of clean. I would watch flows here closely, and or probably worth an entry if the dudes September ones I just talked about are still holding, because they're pretty directional, especially again if more flows enter. All right, and then we said GME. God damn, this video is long. GME. God damn, I don't. So much attention still on GME and GameStop non-stop. I'm sorry. I'm long GME. Okay, I'm long GME. I like the stock. My average is $14. I sell covered calls on big pops, on IV expansion. That's how I trade it. Been trading it for a few years now. That's how I've been trading this stock. But I just hate to see all the opium and all the like crazy things that everyone talks about when it really pops big. And so much misinformation, not only flow, but also about the company and everything. Again, I don't want to sound like a hater. I'm literally long the stock. You got the dark pool block from 90 million and the key liquidity level. Once again, it's not that tough. I'll be honest, it's really not that hard. Look at it. This is a cycle low of April 2024, which is exactly where Roaring Kitty came back. Now, why did he come back? Look at this, the regular. This is literally the same range that we traded after the first squeeze of January 2021, right? When we saw demand and boom, we had another squeeze. So, and he talked about it in the stream. The dude knows GME stock probably more than anyone. He's been following it for a while now, right? Roaring Kitty. So he came back for a reason. He talked about it also in the stream, that it's so technically. Makes sense, smart, right? So yeah, I'm in 14, I'm setting calls on IV expansions. I don't get too much why people are falling too much in love with this again. Like, would people really talk about it as much as they do if this wouldn't have happened? Like the gamma squeeze that literally happened because it's options driven squeeze. So yeah, that's my plan. That's still the levels I would watch. Look what happened every time you tested golden pocket. Bounced, bounced, bounced. So as I've said, 20 and below, it could be a buy every time. I don't know what else to say. Like I can look at flows, but that's the latest one I do see. Someone March 6 opened $1.4 million openers calls, which are bid leaning, and they're kind of, yeah, they're actually pretty widespread. So that's they're shorting calls. Yep, these dudes are selling calls. They're selling $29 calls for April OPEX, so kind of a low DTE, 39 DTE, but not that low to be a seller. Also, to be fair, even though it's slightly over the money, decent trade in my opinion. They're selling the 29, so they're betting on some downside or chop at least to stay below 29 on GME before April OPEX. Right? So yeah, 20 below 20 maybe when it gets interesting again, but I don't care. Like I think the company has a lot of things that they need to, and I believe in Ryan Cohen. Like I think he's the real deal, by the way, right? He has a very tough job, and all the hate that he gets from people that backholded the stock because they bought it in the squeeze. Come on now, that just makes me like anyone who just I see big accounts. I'm talking about big accounts that pumped to their I'm saying people that have been pumping GME ever since 2021 because they bought at the highs and now are suddenly mad at the CEO or the company because of their own financial decisions, and they told their followers to keep buying, going to the moon for 4 years now. It gives me nerves, to be honest, instead of just following the cycles. And again, if you're a long-term believer, more power to you. I really want GameStop to succeed long-term. There are a few things I think they need to do in terms of profit margins and gross profits, which is kind of the key things that no one talks about. But okay, I guess it's more popular to talk about stonk. So I'll keep it at that. And all of my deeper opinions, again, Discord, you guys know it in the Discord. I'm not, that's been, I try to be not too much real with GME because I get a lot of hate, and it doesn't worth it as much as I kind of try to help and give you my opinions. So yeah, I'll keep it at that. And that's it. We're going to do VKTX right now. And again, guys, just to add a little bit about GME, there's a lot of ways to play to be profitable. It requires patience and being smart and not listening to freaking pumpers and opium sellers that giving you opium and drawing green crayons. Just be smart, ahead of the curve. Don't wait for it to pop to kind of look for Twitter or what to do. What should I do now? On X, not Twitter, but you know what I'm trying to say. All right, so that's it. Last one. VKTX. All right, cycle lows October 2023 to the highs of February 2024. We got a golden zone test and we closed on Friday above 28.69, which is nice. I actually bought VKTX on Friday. Actually X'd about it as well, formerly known as tweeted. And that's a bit of a more kind of a macro and cycle related thesis that I have, that I truly believe, if we're going to the monthly, that I didn't like until now, biotech. It's also a very tough sector to obviously be long. Like anyone who just was long biotech in the last few years, look at this. Like it's literally trading in the range since 2018. God damn, right? But it's very hated. XBI, guys, is the biotech ETF, right? Just to give you some context. And yeah, VKTX is a great company in my opinion, truly is. I entered here at 28 something, or 27 was it? What was the low today? 27.6. The high was 29. So anyways, 28, whatever it was. Yeah, I feel like the risk reward here for VKTX is pretty nice. And again, I can be smart. I try to talk about the chart, show some fib levels and some lines that I drew. But at the end of the day, it's all about the flows. We had February 21st, right here, a big player that, what did they do? They bought a 0 DTE call accumulation. I didn't touch it. I watched it. Again, because biotech was on watch. So once it was for a February I kind of don't want to be too long, but I'll explain later. Anyways, when they buy kind of a 0 DTE and when you see the volume here, they close in the money, they potentially exercise. Then you see a swept liquidity sweep with also dark pools. A lot of things added up for me. Then you start seeing kind of them put sellers that stepping in, right? And you look at the timing, look at this, right a day after the local top of this contract for April. So it gives you kind of a short-term cycle sentiment. And then boom, on March 7th, a decent player, like $1.8 million, could be retail. It's not crazy, but it was super timely, $1.5 million. That kind of made me say, okay, all right, that's kind of what I waited for a stock like VKTX. Look at the volume, 6,000 over 600 open interest. And there's some more flows that I actually tracked and waited for. So yeah, anyways, I'm long VKTX now. It's from 28.69, still support. We do want to hold it. And if I'm switching out to weekly, that's what I would watch. We can also kind of start looking at let's do, by the way, you know what, just look at this as well. Like pretty simple, right? See what I mean? Like look at VKTX, potential support resistance flip from May and June of 2023 right now, right? If we take it to the exact lows, we almost touched even the high of 2018. So anyways, we're kind of at a pretty interesting spot here. Would you agree, guys? So yep, you have my, I mean, not attention, because I started a position in VKTX, but this is gonna be something I'll keep watching pretty closely. All right, so that's VKTX. Viking Therapeutics, which by the way is by nature biotech cycle should kind of go with small mid growth. It's a very interesting rotation that's happening right now in high beta in growth sectors. So pay close attention to all of those names to find the best opportunities overall. All right, and I can talk a bit more about VKTX if you guys want, but this video is right now almost an hour long. So I hope I covered everyone's. Let's see, at least the subscribers. Yeah, we did Tesla. And again, I see some of you guys' names here from Discord as well. So don't worry, just let me know in the Discord the stocks, and I got you with a deeper dive as always. But we do this every day, obviously, streams. I mean, we stream every day, so you know that I got you. And yeah, again, 1 hour long of a video. I covered everyone with enough likes. Nice. Okay. All right. Beautiful. So fun times in the market, guys. Markets are volatile, which is very good. It's healthy. It's necessary. We kind of got what we talked about, right? With tech and semis selling off and seeing a rotation out of those big names that have been outperformers. People still chased it and miss now the bigger names, right? We obviously talked about China stocks, which are huge upside right now. I mean, look at Alibaba, look at the KWEB, Hang Seng Index been outperforming like crazy, and now we're kind of at a range high. But this has been the place to be, obviously, while Nasdaq has been going down. So as always, we're gonna find the next cycles and the best sectors to trade, and most importantly, the timing and when to trade and when not to trade. Risk off, risk on, you gotta respect it in this market. Don't need to trade every market move. It's more about finding when to trade rather than only what to trade. All right, so yeah, guys, that's it. Much love. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like it and let me know, because I'll just make more of them if you guys really watched it. If not, that's not. And I'll see you around on X and on Discord. Much love. Peace out.